Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the centuries-old legend of a terrifying hound, a phantom beast that, if you saw it, well, it meant you were done for. But we're about to uncover a story you would never expect, one about hope, community, and an incredible rebirth.
So this is the Black Shuck Festival, a big community party in the English town of Bungay. Looks fun, right? You got music, a parade, people having a great time. But what if I told you they were celebrating a monstrous, devilish hound that was said to be an omen of death? Kind of wild, right?
I mean, it's the classic horror movie setup, and that is exactly where our story begins. The horror in this legend feels very real, but you're going to want to stick with me here because its true purpose is to warn us about something else entirely. This is so much more than just a ghost story.
Okay, so to understand why a whole town throws a party for a monster, we first have to meet the monster itself. Let's dive into the original nightmare. Meet Black Shuck, the nightmare hound of East Anglia. For centuries, people have told stories about this huge, shaggy black dog with these evil, flaming eyes. They said the eyes were as big as saucers. It's a terrifying image that's haunted the region for almost 1,000 years. And this wasn't just any ghost dog. Its name literally comes from the Old English word for demon, or a local word for shaggy. The name itself was a warning. When people said shuck, they knew it meant trouble.
And believe me, this legend is ancient. The first time it was written down was all the way back in 1177. But the story that really cemented its horrifying reputation, the one that everybody remembers, all went down on one single fateful day in 1577.
So it's August 4th, 1577. A terrifying thunderstorm is just raging outside. And all of a sudden, a creature bursts into St. Mary's Church in Bungay. According to the eyewitness accounts, this wasn't just a spooky sighting. Oh no, it was a violent, deadly attack.
And it didn't stop there. The beast then supposedly traveled 12 miles to another church in a town called Blythburgh, killed another 2 people, and left its mark for history to see. People claim you can still go there and see the claw marks on the church door right now.
So, a demon dog attacking churches seems pretty straightforward, right? A classic tale of good versus evil. But what's really interesting is when you start to look at what else was happening around that time. That's when the story gets a whole lot more complex.
Before we get to the truth, what do you think? Take a second. You've got a demon dog, a wild storm, and this dramatic story. What do you think was the real culprit behind all this legendary horror?
And here is where the story gets really juicy. When you put the supernatural tale right next to the historical record, some fascinating things pop out. So the year 1577 saw a famous comet, which people back then always saw as a harbinger of doom. The attack itself happened during a massive thunderstorm. A lightning strike could easily explain the deaths and why the church steeple collapsed. So this all suggests that the whole terrifying tale might have been a brilliant piece of religious propaganda. You have to remember, this was during the Reformation, a time of huge religious chaos, and what better way to scare people than by blaming a natural disaster on the devil himself?
So, from religious propaganda to a spooky ghost story you'd tell around the campfire, the legend of Black Shuck just kept going for centuries. But then, in the 20th century, something incredible and totally unexpected happened. The town of Bungay brought its monster back to life.
All right, fast forward to the 1930s. Bungay, like a lot of towns, was dealing with the Great Depression. The community was really struggling, and it needed a new story, a symbol of resilience to rally around.
And in this amazing turn of events, they found that symbol in their local monster. This is such a powerful idea, a community taking its darkest legend and turning it into a beacon of renewal. They didn't run from their monster, they embraced it and made it their own.
I mean, just look at this transformation. On the left, you have a symbol of absolute terror and divine wrath, and on the right, the proud logo of a town festival. They literally turned their demon into their mascot. It's an incredible story of completely reclaiming a narrative.
Today, Black Shuck is absolutely everywhere in Bungay. It's a symbol of business, sports, and local identity. It's on the town's coat of arms. This is a complete 180-degree reversal of its terrifying origins.
But hold on, there's one more layer to this story. A deeper, more ancient meaning that connects this legend not just to history or religion, but to the very land itself.
So a lot of modern research suggests the legend of Black Shuck isn't just some random ghost story. It's a personification, a living embodiment of the very real dangers of the East Anglian landscape.
And it makes perfect sense when you think about it. East Anglia is a region of low-lying coastlines that can easily erode, treacherous marshes and fens. And the Shuck always appears during storms, at night, on lonely roads, exactly when and where the landscape is at its most dangerous.
So the Shuck actually represents a dual warning. On one hand, it's an omen of death, a reminder of nature's sudden, deadly power. But in other versions of the tale, it's a protector, a guardian, that guides lost people away from that very danger. It's both the threat and the guide to safety.
So what this all really points to is that Black Shuck isn't just a spooky story. It's an ecological allegory. It's an ancient way of encoding knowledge about the environment into a memorable tale that teaches respect for the power of the world around us.
We've journeyed from a monster party to religious propaganda and landed at a deep ecological warning. If you love stories that have real history and context, and not just jump scares, you should definitely save this explainer for later.
And all of this just makes you wonder, what powerful stories, what warnings, what symbols of pride are hidden in the places we call home, just waiting for us to listen? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next explainer.